Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John, and today we'll be talking about another great sequel to the original, which is X-Men 2, X2, X-Men United. And again, we already said how much X-Men fans we are from the past with First Class and the classic 2000s movie, and I don't think we have to say that we like this movie or we were excited, though I don't remember being hyped up for this because it was 2003 and I was still like a kid. How about you?
You know what though? I don't know if I watched this in theaters. I don't know if I was allowed to watch this in theaters. Around 2003, I think I was 4 when this came out. But I will say, the toys that came out of this, the KFC ones, those were the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you would have the Wolverine, he's like on a permanent squat and he has like, his claws out.
Yeah.
And then you like rotate his torso and he goes like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the best thing. Why is this here? I was like, oh, there's a movie.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I mentioned before that my first ever X-Men movie of this lineup was The Last Stand, and then I worked my way backwards. And then I remember I watched this in 2012, right around the same time Avengers came out. And I was like, there can't be a better superhero movie because Avengers is the best. Like, there's nothing to beat it. And it's not like a movie came out 10 years ago in 2002 to beat it. And then I watched X-Men 2. I was like, damn, I am wrong. It's the same year I watched The Dark Knight for the first time. So I'm like, oh, I've been missing out on a lot of choices.
It's so weird because I always known you as the comic book guy. And then I was like, really? You just saw these now?
Yeah, in 2012. Yeah, I got those comments from Edwin too. He's like, "Why?" I was like, "Ah."
He's like, yeah, man. I was like, I could have sworn you were like neck deep into the shit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm good at pretending. It's only until like 2013 that I really started like collecting and reading, and watching the proper movies too. So there's that. But
okay.
Yeah, we start off with one of the most amazing action sequences with Nightcrawler into the White House. You're like, God damn. I never thought Nightcrawler was such a threat until now, to be honest. The first time watching this, I mean.
Oh yeah, him being a full-on assassin and everything, I was like, oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
I don't know why he died, though. Oh, well, it did have, like, a message attached to it. But yeah, this entire fucking sequence is so good.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it and I was so scared of Nightcrawler.
You're right.
Because, like, Nightcrawler, he's not the typical one that we see in the 90s show. He's blue, but he has like angel writings around his face. I was like, oh, that's nightmare fuel.
Right?
His teeth are sharp, and he like perches on something and then he hisses. I'm like, so just imagine like a 4-year-old kid just going, yeah, that's a superhero.
Yeah, you're like, are you a mutant or are you just another scientific thing gone wrong from Marvel? I don't understand this. I thought X-Men were supposed to be, not nightmare fuel.
Yeah, but then again, I forgot that like X-Men has a deeper, how would I say, theme to it.
Yeah.
With the whole racist and shit.
Yeah. And then there's a scene that really shows that later on. But after the White House attack, we just see the X-Men just continuing to do their best to exist in a world which doesn't really want them at all. And you're like, at least they're doing their best. But the Nightcrawler attack, it's like, oh, a mutant attacked the White House. How dare they? And everybody's like on the edge. This is literally like almost like a Cold War of like, we're about to exterminate all the mutants if we don't get an answer soon enough. And Professor X is like, it can't be Eric, right? I don't think that's his thing to do. Yeah, he wants to go against the humans, but I don't think he would enact another mutant to trigger war. I think he would do ignite the spark himself, to be honest.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah. But yeah, they're trying to do their best, and Logan is trying to look for his past. He's in Alkali Lake, trying to look for answers, and the rest of the X-Men are just continuing to guide the new mutants, the new generation. And Storm suddenly doesn't have her accent, but you're like, you know what? That's fine.
It's okay. It's fine.
And then you got introduced to Colonel William Stryker, played by Brian Cox, and I've never seen such an intimidating bad guy who's not a mutant. He's not the typical like lean super villain general. He's just this stubby little guy who can enact so much damage that you wouldn't even know he's going to kill you. till it's too late.
Yeah, you can see that like he has the power and money
Yeah,
of the United States behind him. So I'm like, and you can clearly see that he's manipulating it because he doesn't like. Wait, does he like meat? No, he wants to make mutants into like military weapons, right?
yeah,
That was his entire thing with the whole Project X thing.
yeah.
Project X,
Weapon X.
Weapon X. There we go. Project X is a party. Sorry, forgot about that.
But yeah, he wanted to make them weapons, and now he just wants them to be exterminated by his son.
Yeah.
And like you also see Senator Kelly again. You're like, I thought you melted in the last one, and you see the yellow eyes. You're like, oh, okay,
Right. It's
right,
Mystique.
yeah. And Eric's in this jail, this plastic jail, where he's learned that Stryker is extracting information from him with this weird mind controlling syringe or like formula, where he just injects you with some chemical and you just obey his commands or just gives him every information he wants, and then that's how he lures Professor X and Cyclops to the lair because they're like, we need answers from Eric. And Jean and Storm are going off to get Nightcrawler, while Logan is in charge of the kids that night, along with Iceman and Rogue.
I would say though, I really like this Nightcrawler. Like, sure,
Yeah.
it freaked the shit out of me, but I love this like, Transylvanian-esque style. He's very Dracula-esque.
Yeah,
Like he stays in the church. Yes, I know Dracula doesn't stay in the church, but you get the theme. Like
yeah,
he's kind of very like East European,
yeah,
Slavic kind of character. Yes, cuts everywhere for every sin. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. He was more intriguing here than just being a teenager who had a tail.
yeah. Like that's the thing that really stuck out to me, as a kid watching this, or like in 2012 watching this. I'm like, I've never seen this character other than the original animated series. I never knew he would just mark himself for every sin he committed, and he keeps to himself. He's not, one of the louder X-Men. He's not like Cyclops or Wolverine. He's just like, I'm just here trying to get by in a world that doesn't really want me because of my species.
Well, while that was happening, Rick Wolverine is back at
X-Mansion.
X-Mansion. And that's when the task force comes in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this scene.
Yeah. It's also cool because you see that the kids, the future X-Men, can put up a fight. Because they're like, oh, of course, they have their own unique powers, like fucking Colossus and Kitty Pryde. And you just see Wolverine just... I remember complaints of the first movie being that Wolverine doesn't get to use his claws much. And in this one, he definitely does. Like, he just pins the guy to the fridge, like, Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
It's like, sir, there's a dead body in the school grounds now.
Him just walking up to someone, just covering them out and just stabbing them in the back. Like, what the fuck?
But I do like it, because, what's his name again? Frost? Frost? Human Torch?
Iceman.
Frost Johnny. Iceman, like, at the beginning, he's a little bit jealous of Logan because, what's her name?
Rogue.
Rogue likes him because of the first movie, and they're like, well, he protected me while, danger and shit. But of course, he's a little bit jealous because he's a teenage boy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I look down at you. You're an old guy who probably is a mutant. And then he sees what he can do. He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, hell.
Yeah. Again, this is why Wolverine is my favorite X-Men, because it's just simple weapons. It's just fucking 9-inch long claws that do extra damage. Like, there's no finesse to him fighting. There's not, like, great choreography. It's not a sword fight. It's just, I'm gonna wave my fist around and I'm gonna kill the shit out of you. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I would like that weapon.
I respect that.
Uh,
The person who doesn't do a lot here is Cyclops, though.
Yeah, because he's kidnapped along with Professor X, because Charles is like, what did you do, Eric? And he's like, I'm sorry, they made me do it. And they're stuck, and Cyclops is knocked out by Lady Deathstrike, I believe her name is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the house, you see that Stryker and Logan have a confrontation, and Stryker, you get the sense that Stryker has something to do with the adamantium that Logan has. And you're like, I wonder what's the backstory. Because you see keep seeing Logan have like these flashbacks to Alcala Lake and his origins. You're like, I kind of want to know more. And then you see origins. You're like, fuck, you ruined
Which is, yeah, which is a shame because like, no, not really. Well, which movie was it where they showed Logan with the headpiece and everything?
X-Men Apocalypse.
Damn it.
Yeah. Not the best.
Because that shit is sick though. Because like he had like the whole get up. Compared to this one where he's just naked. And it's kind of cool though, because like you see him like he gets out of the lab. He got blood on his hands with the claws out. He's like, and I was like, oh cool, they showed blood.
Yeah, and that's why, just opposed to like X-Men Origins when he comes out of the water, you're like, I don't remember him being Leonidas. I remember him being more traumatized than that.
Yeah. Hey, X-Men Origins first 30 minutes was sick.
Yeah, but like, you know what, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah. Again, the way Stryker carries himself, like when he's blowing up the ice wall that Bobby made, just this, again, this senior citizen just taking command of all these special forces. Like, that's a villain right there. That's one I can respect.
I agree. But of course, some kids get kidnapped, like that screaming girl.
Yeah, and then Logan and the rest go to Bobby's house while Charles and Cyclops are kidnapped, and Jean and Storm are like, I can't get communication from anything. And then Mystique finds one of the guards, or tracks down one of the guards in charge of Eric's cell, and pretends to flirt with him, but she just really wants to knock out his ass so she can put metal in his ass, apparently. And you're like, what's that for?
No, because you don't remember. You're like, oh, you have to.
Yeah, I know, but like at the moment, you're like, why is she Mystique do? Oh, okay.
I get it now.
Yeah, that was a sick scene when Eric's like, oh, good morning, officer. And he's like, not now. It's like, you have a problem. What the fuck? Oh, fuck. What the fuck are you doing to me? I don't like this.
But that shit was nasty because it was coming off this every pore. I was like, ah.
Right? It's like too much iron in your blood. And you see how powerful Magneto is with just that little metal. You're like, what the fuck? Why?
Oh, yeah, he made like 2 little discs just to step on and maybe a couple of two balls just to go around the place. I'm like,
yeah. You see him just shelter the security guard. Shit.
That's what I like about like Magneto. At some points you're just like, you know what? Yeah, see, sometimes magnets can fuck you up.
Yeah, right. And then we go to Bobby's house where Bobby didn't tell his parents that he's in the school because he's a mutant. He's just like, oh, it's a normal prep school for college or something like that. And then when they discover it, his mom was like, can you try not being a mutant? You're like, what the fuck do you mean?
It's just like the most racist household.
Yeah.
Like the scene was just like, can you not be what you are? And I was like, hey yo.
It's like a commentary on racism and homophobia. You're like, oh, fuck. Watching this now, you're like, oh, why?
Yeah. And like the little brother like storms off because he's like, I don't like it. My brother's here and he's weird. I'm like. It's like, yeah, this has so many layers.
Right? For a movie that came out in 2002, you're like, god damn. Yeah, I mean, that's what the X-Men's all about. Like, representing minorities and people who are going through, what do you call that? Oppression for who they are. You're like, yeah, that is bullshit. And then, even the police are like, you have to get out of the house, you're all dangerous. And then Pyro's like, you're goddamn right I am. It's like, you... know about all the dangerous mutants you see on TV, and I'm one of them. And he starts blasting.
Like, no, I'm the worst one.
Yeah.
I was like, sure, whatever, man.
You're like,
have you seen Magneto?
Right. Rick, the scene's kind of cool, but at the same time, you're definitely not helping your case with burning these poor police officers. They're like, this mutant tried to burn us alive. Why? Rick, yeah, you're not helping. And it's
pretty much.
Before that though, right, there's a scene where they're telling Logan like, drop the knives. He's like, I can't. I really can't. He just retracts them. He gets shot in the head. As a kid.
No, because it's so stupid though. Because he's like, I can't watch. It's like, yeah. I was like, is it gonna shoot out?
Right. And then there's like, well, Professor Logan just died. Shit. And then see his healing factor. Like, right, of course.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, and then
I could have sworn like the like Logan can take a bullet and just be like, "Rrr."
right.
Here it knocks him out. I'm like, oh.
I guess it depends. I mean, he also got knocked out by Stryker in Origin. Like, oh, okay. I guess it really depends.
No, because that was an adamantium bullet.
Right. So yeah. Why here is he not just like, well, you're stupid.
Yeah, like tink, you know.
But yeah, going back to Professor X, he's in Alkali Lake where William Stryker shows him what he did to his son, and he's like, well, why? Why do you do this? It's their own flesh and blood. He's like, he's a mutant. You were supposed to fix him. He's like, I can't. What do you mean fix him? He is what he is. Just let him be. Why? He's using Jason to control or to get Professor X to control Cerebro because he mentioned before that if he concentrates hard enough, he can kill people. Like us back in 2012, I was like, I didn't know we could do that. Fuck.
Yep. Hey man, if a person can stop an entire room, like pretty much stop everybody from moving, I was like, I think he could probably pop some heads if he wanted to.
Yeah, and you definitely see that in Logan, where like, oh, his mind is fractured. What the fuck is gonna happen?
Yeah.
And then the scene where the X-Jet gets hit and Jean tries to control the missiles, but it's too late and it gets knocked out of the air, but they're stopped by Magneto. And he's like, these people need to learn how to fly. You're like, fuck.
And then we get that weird scene, the camping scene, and I'm like, ooh. Because, of course, we know that Jean and Wolverine have some sexual tension, but she was like, I'm in love with Cyclops. But I kinda wanna fuck you, you know?
And then Jean comes in the tent and they start making out, and he's like, I don't remember claw marks on Jean at all. Yeah. And then you're like, have you done this before? Because why wouldn't you? Never mind, I'm thinking too much on this.
I found it weird because then she shapeshifts into Rogue. I was like, no. I'm good. How old is Rogue?
And then she shapeshifts into Stryker. He's like, definitely not get out.
I don't know what was Mystique's plan here though.
Right?
Did she just want Logan?
Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I was thinking about it, like, does Mystique have a thing for him after he like cut the shit out of her? Like why?
Probably, maybe, I don't know. But her turning into Stryker pretty much lost all opportunity. I know that's when Logo's like, get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just saying, Mystique on her own is kind of hot.
Right.
Perfection.
As Magneto said once upon a time. But yeah, going back, talking about Mystique, they're like, Logan's like, I can infiltrate Alkali Lake because they discover where the base is, and then Magneto's like, yeah, but you can't control the controllers for the water. What the fuck are you gonna do? Slash them with your claws? Let Mystique do it. And then that's when we get the scene of Mystique as Logan infiltrating the place, and then they're like, Stryker's like, that's definitely not Logan, and she's just like, just runs stepped away. Like, I like this Mystique.
I also love this Mystique. It's such a shame that she kind of was a minor role. Like, she's just the side villain to Magneto.
Yeah.
When she clearly had a bigger part in the old X-Men TV show.
Yeah. And then they infiltrate Alkali Lake when they split up once again because Logan knows Stryker's there, so he goes his own way. And then Jean is going to go to Cerebro while Jean and Magneto are going to go to Cerebro while Storm is going to save the X-Children. And then Wolverine discovers his origins. He remembers like, oh, this is the place where I was created to be the Wolverine. And Stryker's like, yes, I thought you were indestructible. Apparently I'm wrong. And then we get a pretty sick fight between Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike with a adamantium nails. Like, what the fuck is that?
I love how he was like, sink, and she goes, shh. And I was like, oh shit. I'm in like, yeah, same situation. That's freaky. Right? I love this fight. I really do. Like, her just straight up just uppercutting him with the nails. I was like, oh, that's horrible. Thank God you regenerate.
Right? Like, again, you see how Logan's fighting style, where he's just a brawler, just trying to reach Lady Deathstrike, while Lady Deathstrike is more agile and more acrobatic. It's a nice mixture of styles, and both of them have healing factors. So you're like, oh, fuck, how do you beat this one then?
Yeah, and we kind of saw how.
Oh man, that's nasty.
It was kind of nasty because I'm like, ugh, that's how you kill a Wolverine.
Yeah.
You just inject them with a shit ton of metal and drown them.
Yeah, and then when she hits the bottom, you hear tuk.
No, like you hear the clang because
Yeah.
you know her entire body's just filled with metal now.
Yeah, you're like, Then Magneto has a hallway scene before it was cool. He just removes the pins of the grenades, and there's like, fuck.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that if only Darth Vader could.
Right? I'm pretty sure he could, but like, Magneto doing his metal works is like, this is why I like Magneto. He's such a cool, and I wouldn't say villain. It's definitely not a villain. He's an antagonist. Like the speech.
Well, antagonist means villain, anti-hero.
Yeah, anti-hero. Thank you. Like the speech he gives Pyro before the scene where he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Pyro. I can only manipulate fire, and that's about it." And he's like, "Don't forget that you are a god among insects." This is why people flock to his side.
No, I don't know if having a god complex would do anything like, would benefit a community, but alright.
Sure. And then he also makes a comment on Rogue. He's like, "Oh, I like what you did to your hair." Just like, what you fucking say?
That was such a funny scene because it's like him and Mystique like snickering at like the side. And then they're kind of acting like bullies, and you're like, "What?" And he's like, "I like what you did with your hair." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, Storm. Jean and Scott have a fight, and then you see how powerful Jean's telekinesis is because she pushes Scott, and then that also cracks the dam. You're like, God, what the fuck? How powerful is this person? And then she fractures her legs at the same time. We're like, oh, I guess it's too powerful. Who knows?
Yep.
And then Jason gets Professor X to start concentrating on the mutants, and you're like, this movie can't end this way, right? And then Magneto's like, I got the helmet. He goes to Charles, he's like, I don't think they're playing by your rules, Charles. Let's play by theirs. And he just manipulates Jason to be like, oh, can you kill all the humans instead? Or, fuck. Well, they're fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where Mystique like turns into Striker.
Yeah.
And she just tells him, "Oh, just kill us all."
Oh yeah. Also, Striker tries to get away multiple times, but he's first stopped by Logan. He just gets stabbed, and he's like, "I'll give you all the answers you want."
Oh yeah, that poor bastard. He's just like, helicopter, Logan, and then he gets chained to the helicopter, and then later on he gets chained to like the front of the dam.
Yeah, Magneto is like, "Oh, Striker, we should stop meeting like this. Rest assured, this will be the last time." Like, well, he's not playing around. Jesus. And then they have to stop Professor X from killing all the humans, because again, if there's anyone who will ignite the war between humans and mutants, it's definitely Eric. And Nightcrawler's like, I can't teleport to where I don't know where I'm going.
I can't see.
Yeah. She's like, I have faith, because they had a conversation about faith early on. He's like, alright. And they go to Cerebro, where Storm makes it snow a lot, then poor Jason gets killed. Poor Jason. He's doing enough through life already.
It's fine. What he got was like probably the best thing that he had his entire life.
You know what? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then Nightcrawler just poofs Charles away to a safer spot, so they have to run away from the water. They're all rushing, and then Logan and Stryker have their last words. Stryker's like, someone will finish what I started, Logan, one day. And then you see the results in Logan, and you're like, oh, I thought that was just a throwaway line. Fuck.
Oh! Okay, not gonna lie, yeah. I thought it was just a throwaway line as well.
Yeah. And then, again, you see the commentary on, like, homophobia and racism, where he's like, you either side with me or that creature in your arms, and the kid's like, oh, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, they're not subtle when it comes to the message. So, I appreciate that when it came to the writing of the X-Men.
Yeah. But the water is going too fast, and Jean decides to sacrifice herself. And it's a very touching scene, because, like, again, since I started with Last Stand and going back in 2012 when I saw this first, I was like, oh, that's why. Jeez. bad in the
Bad.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why she's bad though, but like, yeah.
Yeah. Again, with the X-Men movies, you're like, continuity, smart continuity. Who cares?
It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do see like, oh, Cyclops and Wolverine are kind of both sad together, but far apart from each other. I'm like, it seems about right.
Right?
I don't know how to feel about that relationship. Not gonna lie.
It's like, Professor, I don't want to sit beside him. I lost my girlfriend. You're like, oh, okay, fine.
Alright, fine.
And then Charles is like, we have to go to Washington because if we don't stop this, we're all fucked apparently, essentially. And they go to the White House with the president's like, all right, this is the moment in time, and everybody freezes. He's like,
this shit was cool. And it was
Yeah.
like, there was like a thunderstorm coming out, and then they suddenly appear. I'm like, ugh.
and Charles basically tells us like, I have a file from Colonel William Stryker, and the president's like, I've never seen these files. He's like, I know, that's why I'm giving this to you. So you are right. Is this a moment in time where you can either repeat the mistakes of the past, or we can work together for a better future? The choice is yours. And then it unfreezes, and he's like, fuck. Alright.
Yeah. Look, I can't say no when someone can actually just freeze everyone all around me,
Yeah.
and there's a dude with claws. I'm like, alright, whatever you want, man.
Like, yeah, sure, man. Maybe the leader of the most powerful nation, but you can get to me. So, Jesus Christ.
With zero effort, I'm like, alright, okay,
Right.
fine.
Yeah. Even Nightcrawler's like, hi, remember me? You're like, yes, I remember you. Please stay away from me. And then you get the last monologue of Professor X talking about evolution and how it affected humanity, and once in a while it takes a step forward, and then you see the phoenix in the water, and you're like, oh, so they did set this up. Shit.
Yep. Yeah.
I talked to some people before who watched this in like 2002, and they say they lost their minds seeing the phoenix in the water.
I had zero. I was like, what the fuck is that? Sorry, like I was a 4-year-old kid. I didn't know shit about X-Men besides the TV show, and I was like, I didn't know Jean Grey was a phoenix.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. And my brother was losing his shit, so I was like, what does that mean? Oh, she means she's coming back. I was like, oh, that's cool. Who's she? Because to me, I was like, who the fuck's Jean Grey?
Right?
Right? So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know later on she'll be the big baddie in
Yeah.
the next one. I'm like, alright.
Yeah, and then the next one we get the first of these attempts. The first of 2 attempts to do the Dark Phoenix story, which, we'll talk about this movie. You know what? I can't make any promises, but this lineup and the next video we're going to do, we'll try to do our best to make this the Christmas lineup for the third movies and second movies of the lineup. These movies.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, try to go emo for both movies, I guess, because I remember people dressing up as Jean Grey. I'm like, oh, okay, guess it's the time of the year again.
Wait, what? So it's just like red leather?
Yes,
Okay.
it's either Red Letter or Bully McGuire's everywhere. Like, what a strange time to be alive.
Okay.
But yeah, we said everything we wanted to say about X-Men 2. So what would you rate this one?
For X-Men 2, I would say it was way better than X-Men 1.
Hmm.
It is way fucking better than X-Men 3. I'm already kind of giving my score for the... What was it called again?
Last Stand.
Last Stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say it was one of the, besides First Class, one of the X-Men's where it was like, okay, you know what, that's not bad. And
Yeah.
it has that, like, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man syndrome,
Yeah.
where the second movie kind of just, like, went, above and beyond
Yeah.
when it came to the story. So I'm gonna give this one a solid, like, 8 out of 10. Like, I say that's a good score for this one. I'm not really entirely attached to X-Men like I was with Spider-Man.
Hmm.
But I did enjoy this movie, and I knew, and like I appreciated the messages that this movie was trying to say, and it was ahead of its time. So,
Yeah.
you can't deny that.
Yeah. I'll give this a 9 out of 10 because the X-Men is my favorite Marvel team, and them doing this movie back in 2002. Again, the early 2000s was not the best time for comic book movies in general. and the fact that this is a near masterpiece in my mind says a lot. And again, a pretty good story with very good actions and great heroes and a great villain and Striker. And like it just kept going up until it didn't. It was like 90 degree up, and then that time was like, oh, it's sloping, and then Origins went like, oh, it's taking a nosedive now.
Yeah, especially with Dark Phoenix. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right? Speaking of Last Stand characters, did you notice in the TV and the bar where Mystique was seducing the guard on TV was Hank McCoy, Beast? Yeah, it said his name, and you're like, oh, that's not the actor for Last Stand, but who cares? It's Beast.
Yeah. But was Beast not in the first two? Oh yeah, I did see Beast here.
Yeah, it's only in the last one, in Last Stand, where he's portrayed by I don't know. I really don't know. You're like,
it's so weird,
right?
I could have sworn he was in like all three movies.
Maybe you're thinking about the James McAvoy ones.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's been our video for X-Men 2. What's your favorite X-Men movie? Whether it's the Patrick Stewart ones or the James McAvoy ones, comment down below. Or the Deadpool ones. Who knows? But yeah, if you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like our video, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. I am not on socials. I'm just in the videos. I'm also on Spotify and TikTok. You can see me there. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments and react to trailers. Spotify to hear us on the go. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGio on Instagram. It is my account.
And for the next video, we'll be talking about 4 individuals. Talking about the Fantastic Four, essentially. See ya. Bye.